Hi, and welcome to today's Pick a Card reading. So today you get to pick the situation, the subject, whatever it is that's maybe troubling you or that you would like guidance on, okay? And I'll provide some goddess guidance for you. So yeah, I am using cards that have to do with divine femininity, and I have the Isis Oracle and Goddess Guidance Oracle cards as well that are in these piles. Every pile has the same amount. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce the piles. Okay, so depending on the way you see color, pile number 1 is either going to be purple or red. Pile number 2 is going to be the blue feather. Pile number 3 is the black feather. Pile number 4 is the yellow feather. And pile number 5 is the green feather. All right, guys, so while you're picking your pile, I just wanted to let you know anything you need to know about me is in that description below. Understand that these public readings that I put, they are general. If you need more specific guidance, I do offer private readings, and that way we can look at your specific situation. And I have readings at every price point. So if you do need that, you should be able to find a good option for you. Okay, so that said, let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't picked your pile yet, pause the video and so that you'll have some time to pick, and otherwise we're going to start with the very first pile. Alrighty, so first off I'm going to move some of these out of the way so that I we'll have enough room for each pile. Okay, so those of you who picked either the red or purple feather, depends on how you see color. I see it as purple, but other people see it as red. So here is your reading. All right, so we have divine destiny. So yeah, you're on the right path. Okay, so if that's something that you're wondering about, you're where you're supposed to be. You're focusing on what you're supposed to be focusing on. Okay, we've got Nematona, Sacred Space. Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and put out all of them before I start talking more. Isolde, Undying Love. Okay. Saraswati. This is the goddess of self-knowledge. And Our Lady of Guadalupe, excuse me, Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection. Okay, so we've got a lot of information here. Okay, so I would imagine that those of you who picked this pile have pretty complicated situations, but we're gonna go ahead and get this more simple. Okay, first off, we've got the Nematona, which encourages you to get your divine space all in order. Okay, before I go on, I do want to say this card is basically just reassuring you that you are on the right path, and this is something that you should focus on. Okay, and that's basically the message. Okay, you're following your destiny. This is what you're supposed to do. Okay, so when I say sacred space, okay, let's pretend like excuse me. Let's pretend like you're a writer. So make sure that you have a sacred space for writing, and make sure it's clear and clean. Make sure that it has the decorations around you that inspire you. Really make sure that you have some place like that for yourself. If you're a reader, then get a nice reading nook. You know, it doesn't even have to be anything major. Just maybe find a corner of some room and put a nice reading chair there, and maybe like a small table where you can put your books or your e-reader or whatever. Okay, this is all about, you know, making sure that your space around you, we're talking about the physical world here, is all like arranged well. Okay, so basically this is all about making certain that everything in your environment is serving you and leading you to a higher purpose. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and skip this one and go to the next one. Okay, all right, so in the same way, let's go to this one first, actually. In the same way that we're creating sacred space by doing that, this is also cleaning out your closet kind of stuff too, okay? We're also talking about protection, okay? I feel that if you do this, you'll feel more protected because you'll feel like your space around you is more, well, it's intentional. You intentionally put that together for that specific purpose. Okay. That said, you are more safe than you think you are. Okay. And when I say that, I mean, maybe your situation makes you feel really vulnerable. Okay. Or maybe there's something risky about your situation. Within reason, okay, you are protected. All right. So kind of keep that in mind. When it comes to this particular situation, you are protected. You have more options than you think, and you're not going to mess it up, as easily as you think you could, right? Okay, and then we have Saraswati, the goddess of self-knowledge. Okay, this has to do with being your true, authentic self, okay? Sometimes that can be hard. Sometimes you want to act like the way that maybe you think other people would prefer you to be. Sometimes when you're starting something new, you've got to play that role. And so you have to kind of figure out, well, how does this new hat fit, right? This is about saying, look, just be yourself. If something happens and it's awkward, that's okay. For whatever reason in your situation, you need to be yourself. For example, if this is a love situation, the person that you're interested in, they're interested in you, not some other person, in the same way that you would want them to be themselves around you, okay? And then here we go, we've got undying love. The love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation. So I really feel like this is directing you to be conscious of the enthusiasm, the excitement, and yes, the love that you put into this situation, because that is going to be kind of like the glue that seals the situation together. All right, guys? So hope you, I wish you well in your situation, and it looks like you have a lot of things to think about here. All right, those of you who picked the blue feather, pile number 2, here is your reading. I'm going to go ahead and say all of the cards and then we'll put them together. Right? So we have the Chariot of Ascension, spiritual work of the higher initiate. Okay? Catherine Laborde, the patroness of miracle healing. Okay, we have Yamoja. I think it's either Yamoja or Yamoya. The goddess of all that flows. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then we have Athena, inner wisdom, and Diana, focus intention. Okay. All right, so part of this reading is kind of like to get some reassurance that what you're thinking already is right. Reassurance that what you're thinking about this particular situation is true, because I'm already getting from this particular card here that you have your own intuitive ideas about the situation, okay? So that means to me that you already are kind of picking up on some of the subtleties of the situation, and I don't want to step on this. So what I would tell you to do is, if you're watching videos like this, and that kind of stuff, take it with a grain of salt. And I know that's not great for business, right? But really take it with a grain of salt, because your own intuition's what's going to be guiding you through this right now. However, we do have some good information here, okay? Let's just go in a line, okay? So it's like part of this situation for you is like, it feels like it's almost too good to be true. And like, sometimes when you're in a situation that is really coming together, it's like, wait, am I even, wait, how could this be happening to me? What did I do to, these things don't happen to me. Feels like something that you might say about the situation. Well, it is happening to you. Okay. And we've got the goddess of all this that flows. What that means is that you are in that zone, okay, that people talk about when, athletes talk about that. You're in that zone where you are creating, and it's almost like you're channeling energy that's, it's like you're tapping into some kind of universal energy. Some people call it spirit, that is helping you to be more yourself than you are already. Are you worthy? Absolutely you are. If you don't feel worthy, examine your beliefs about what you do and do not deserve. Do you believe that you don't deserve things because fill in the blank, right? You know, look at that thing that you just filled in the blank with and say, does that serve me? Is that true? How do I know it's true? Challenge it. It's like, is that really the way it is? Is that true for everybody? It's like, don't be so hard on yourself. If what you just filled in the blank with is something that pretty much applies to all humans, it's like, okay, so you're human, but that doesn't mean that you don't deserve good things, right? You're going to have to do your own work, obviously, but I really feel like you need to challenge your beliefs because you are worthy of this, okay? And I feel like to get into that vibration of creating the situation the way that you want it to go, you've got to really honor that, okay? So again, we have a repeat of another card. With Athena, this is about inner wisdom, okay? So you already know what to do. Trust that. And take that appropriate action. If you feel like, you're in a situation where it's like you kind of know what you should do, but you're not certain, and you're kind of like, I don't know, but it kind of feels this way, I don't know, you're okay. Just take a deep breath, relax, and really think about what is it that your intuition's telling you, what do you know to be true about this situation, and move forward based on that, okay? Because you really do already know, and I know that that is a frustrating thing to hear, especially from somebody who's supposed to have some answers for you, but that's just the way it is right now, okay, guys? You already got this is basically what I'm getting. I really like Diana. Focus, intention. Yeah, I mean, this is more about just focusing on the end. What do you want to accomplish in the end? You know you're going to accomplish it, or at least you're being told you're going to accomplish it, right? You have that inner wisdom to accomplish it. You're totally worthy and you're in the flow, okay? You're manifesting a situation. It's going to happen. So keep focusing on it and your situation's going to be just fine, okay? So that said, hopefully you were able to get some good guidance out of this, and I wish you well in your endeavor. All right, those of you who picked the third pile, the black feather, here is your reading, and I'm gonna go ahead and name all the cards, and then we're gonna go back and we will interpret them. Okay, so I have the High Priestess, mysteries revealed in the eyes of Isis. Okay, we have Irene, peace. Okay, we have Mau, which is Mother Earth. Okay, we have Hestia. This is the goddess of sanctuary. Okay. And Kali, the mother of the universe. Okay. All right. So for me, the message is really clear. But let's just kind of go through this one at a time. Right now, unfortunately, something about the situation is hidden from you. Okay, and that's supposed to remain a mystery. Okay. Unfortunately, that's what's going on. However, I feel that this is going to be revealed because all of the following cards are showing me how that's going to be revealed, okay? So let's first go with, I'm going to go ahead and put these in this order instead. So Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary, this is about making your body your own sacred space, okay? And of course one can easily say, okay, well that means that I'm not supposed to, maybe, I don't know, do drugs, and that I'm supposed to eat healthy and exercise and all of that kind of stuff, and yeah, that's an aspect of it, is making sure you're taking care of your body. Absolutely. But for me, I feel like this is more about your spiritual body, and basically, that abstract body that you have, okay? When I say abstract, I mean the spiritual aspect of yourself. I mean the emotional aspect of yourself, and also what you're thinking about, okay? So when I say, make your body a sanctuary, make sure your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs are all lined up with what you want to have happen in the situation, okay? Make sure that you line those up, because that way, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter what happens, you know that you're in that inner sanctuary inside of yourself, okay? And that should help you feel more peaceful about this. I was telling another pile this earlier. It's really important to make sure that your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs are serving you. So if you've found that some of these thoughts and beliefs are outdated, it's time to update, okay? And get rid of those beliefs that aren't serving you anymore, okay? I can't fill in the blank for what those are. All I know is that some of you might have some outdated beliefs that are holding you back in the situation. All right, so I love this. The Mother of the Universe, Callie. This is kind of a repeat. It's just said in a different way. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. Another pile also talked about authenticity, and I think that this is true for this person. I mean, this is true for this for the viewers who picked this pile. I feel like it's almost like you're coming onto your own. It's less about being authentic. For you guys, opposed to the other pile, as it is about realizing who you are and realizing almost like what you're capable of doing, and seeing that it's like twice as big as what you thought before, right? Yes, be authentic, be yourself. I mean, that's kind of a given, I mean, you're put on the earth to be yourself, and nobody else can do the job that you're doing. Nobody else can be you. I can't live your life for you. You're the only one who can do that, right? I can only be the best me, right? So yes, authenticity is very important, and I don't want to dismiss that. But this is more about coming into your own power. Reminds me a lot of the third chakra, if you want to go that route of, understanding it that way. But basically, yeah, you've got this, that's what these cards are saying so far. All right, so the peace, okay, there's no need to worry, and everything is working out beautifully. I think that this is supposed to just reassure you that, yes, you're in the right position, you're in the right place, and you will feel more calm as this develops, okay? And again, we've got the goddess of sanctuary, and we've got peace. So it's like not only are you able to take the reins and create that peace from within yourself, right? But you're also entering into a peaceful time when it comes to your particular situation, okay? And then we've got Mother Earth, okay? So I really feel like one aspect of this situation, and it might seem like this isn't related, okay? Because I actually even get the feeling that for a lot of you, it's going to be really weird, like this isn't related, I don't know how this is related, but it will be eventually, and that will reveal itself to you. You would benefit from getting out in nature. You would benefit from maybe starting a garden. Basically just going outside and like touching the earth. Maybe it's grounding too. Just being aware that this is reality. That kind of thing. Taking a quick, like assessment of what's going on, right? This is important for you right now, okay? So I feel like, all this stuff that's going on, you might actually be so uplifted that you're kind of floating away a little bit in this situation. If you are, then go outside, take off your shoes and socks, and feel the earth with your feet, okay? If that doesn't work for you, get a pebble or a stone to carry around with you to touch every so often. Put your hands under running water, whatever element you're called to. And it doesn't necessarily have to be one of the traditional elements. Like, for example, I'm very attracted to forest energy. So for me, one of the best grounding things to do is either do a meditation or a visualization that involves the forest, or actually going outside and, you know, getting and spending some time with some trees, right? Um, and what I do actually to bring that stuff into the home so that it's also, you know, helping me inside is that I also go outside and I'll collect sticks that have already, you know, fallen off the trees, and I'll tie them up with a string or something. Actually, I usually use hand dyed yarn that my friend makes, and I'll tie it up and I'll leave them in different places around the house, just like Blair Witch, right? And it might freak out the people that live with me, but it helps me feel calm, you know? So you can do something weird like that, or, you know, it might be anything else. Another thing that I do is I do have essential oils that are really helpful for me in connecting to that, you know, that vitality, okay? And that might be something else that'll help. But the bottom line is there's something about going out. Okay, I'm also being told, like, taking care of the environment as well, okay? So if you want to be active in taking care of the environment, that also might help. But going out and experiencing that environment, you know, experiencing Earth, you know, will help you feel a lot more grounded and a lot more stable. Because seriously, the more physical, the more sensate things that you have, right? That you know, I can see this crystal, I see what color it is, I see that it's see-through, I can feel that it's cold, you know, I can smell it if I want. I'm not going to do that right now, but I can feel it with all of my senses, right? That supplies yourself with everything it needs in order to be intuitive, right? Intuition is just taking all of the knowledge that we already know, that we've collected through the senses, and kind of jumbling it up until it makes sense and a new idea has been born from that information. So really, grounding helps you be more intuitive. No, it's kind of counterintuitive, but it does. All right, guys? Looks like your situation is in control though, okay? So I wish you luck. Alrighty, those of you who picked pile number 4, the yellow feather, here is your reading. I'm going to go ahead and lay out all the cards, name them, and then we're going to go ahead and interpret them. So we've got the Brother in Darkness, overcoming negative energy with feminine power, okay? We've got the Black Madonna, okay? This is the Lady of the Hermits, so I already like her. Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. All right. Aphrodite and Freya. All right. We've got some goddesses from all over the world, right? Okay. So, the Brother in Darkness. I feel like this has 2 meanings depending on which viewer you are, okay? One thing is if you're going through some really dark times, okay? You've got somebody that you can talk to. It might not be the person that you'd want to talk to about it, but you do have somebody, a friend, maybe a sibling, maybe a literal sibling, you know, who gets it, you know, who gets the idea of it. If it's not somebody you already know, maybe there's a forum online, maybe there's another YouTube channel that you can look at that'll help you, but there's somebody that is there for you, okay? And so I would say to take advantage of that. For the other people who are going through some difficult times, I feel like this difficult time is more what lives inside of you, okay? And that might be a strange way of putting it, but it's like we all have darkness and light inside of us, okay? And it's not, and sometimes we're more drawn to the dark side of ourselves, right? And it's not about being all good or all bad. What I think this card is talking about is, you know, take the light side with you as you're exploring that darkness to remind you that this is just one aspect of you, okay? So if you're experiencing inner turmoil, if you're bringing up some things from the past, if you're bringing up some stuff that's really upsetting you, you know, or if this situation is bringing up some stuff that's really upsetting you, take those times where you felt in control, you felt like you've got this covered, where you've felt peaceful and calm and all of that kind of stuff, and bring that to the situation, because that part exists just as much as the darkness does, okay? And I feel like you're in the process of balancing out too, okay? So that's one thing that's going on here. So yeah, when one is alone with oneself, and both groups, no matter which one you are, we're talking about, examining the situation, examining what's going on inside of you. I feel like it's kind of time to pull away from the situation right now and really examine, what do you think, what do you believe, and how are you feeling about this, and is this serving you? Do you want to stay with the situation? Okay, I feel that most of you will, though. I feel like most of you will want to stay with the situation. It's just about being frustrated right now, okay? And sometimes when I get Herman energy, I also get that idea that you need to take some time for yourself, like just in a general way, like read a book, take a spa day, do whatever it is that fits your personality to kind of take a breather, so that you're not so overwhelmed and stressed, okay? Because we've got the goddess of abundance right here, Lakshmi, okay? This is telling you that something is materializing out of the situation, and it will, okay? So if you're talking about a job, this is telling you you'll get one. If you're talking about, if you're thinking about like some kind of relationship issue, whether it's romantic or not, this is telling you there's going to be an abundance of feelings, an abundance of understanding there. The answer that's going to help this situation improve is about to present itself, okay? All right. So Aphrodite, okay? I didn't realize that this card was also so much like these two, and so much like this one. It's like you guys just really need to know, bam, 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 exactly what's going on. You got another take care of yourself card, basically. This is about self-care and appreciating your own divinity. Know that you're special. You're a very special person. Celebrate you and be yourself. In case you're feeling pressure to put on a different hat, be you. And also just, take care of you. Take care of yourself. Understand the rest of the situation will take care of itself as well. I feel like for a lot of you, the more you trust that you taking care of yourself will make a difference, the more of a difference this whole situation will make, and in other words, the more you take care of yourself, the more this situation will just kind of take care of itself and align with what your intentions are. And then we've got Freya. Unleash your adventurous side, take risks, and be daring. I feel like this is really one of those like in cards, like this is a sentence, this is a period. Once you get this stuff taken care of, then you'll be able to act, okay? So make sure you're taking some time for yourself. I would say 3 days at the most, okay? 3 days at the least, just really focus on that. It doesn't mean that you don't have to put any energy into the situation. It's just focus on all of this stuff, okay? And treat your own mind and body and spirit first, and then you can take action. And Freya is really self-empowered, and she knows that she has power. She knows her own power, and she's not afraid to use it. And I really feel like you just need to connect with that aspect of yourself, okay? And this it doesn't matter if you're male or female either. You have an energy, an essence inside of you that is that essence that's aware of how powerful you really are. And that's what Freya kind of evokes when we're looking at goddess energy, okay? All right, so you've got this, right? Okay. Hi, pile number 5. Those of you who picked the green feather. We're going to go ahead and go through each one of these cards, lay them out, and then we'll interpret them, okay? So we have the Talisman of Potency, okay? We have Oh, goodness. I apologize in advance if I mispronounce this. We have in Hedwana. Okay, yeah. Okay, we've got we've got Bridget. I love Bridget. But then again, I'm a druid, so of course I'd love Bridget. We have Bast, and we have Sekhmet. All right. So let me go ahead and kind of focus in on the energy here, because we've got a lot of different pieces of advice for you. So I feel like this situation that you're asking about is pretty complicated. All right, let's start here. The talisman of potency. Okay, here's the deal. Whether you believe in this stuff or not, something that you can do to help in the situation is find something that represents to you accomplishing your goals in this situation, okay? So for example, let's say that you're losing weight. Find something that represents accomplishing your goal. Let's say it's, it's a dress that is in the size that you want, okay? Get that dress and then start focusing energy into it every day, so that you're aligning yourself with your talisman. Now, ideally, your talisman can be something that you can take around with you, because in this case, we want to remind ourselves over and over that there is an end goal, right? And that end goal is represented by this object, okay? And that's where we're going, okay? So you can get real creative with this, and I don't want to give too many examples because, I really think that bringing your own creativity to it would be the best. But for example, let's say that I wanted to really open up with people, okay? I'm very, very painfully introverted. It's really amazing that I have my own YouTube channel, okay? So I might get a charm that it has a flower on it, because flowers open up and they really blossom and they really look good when they do it. And then I might go to my essential oil collection and find my favorite floral scent and add that on there, okay? And then I might, I might put a crystal on top of it during a full moon. Or I might just do whatever it is, whatever kind of thing that symbolically to me, okay, kind of charges it with energy. And then maybe I would wear it around my neck and like feel it every so often. I'm gesturing to my, let's say that this is the flower. I'd feel it every so often, so I can remind myself I'm going to open up and it's going to be beautiful, and I'm going to be good with these people, and think about how that floral scent smells, and I'll think about how, people are going to like me. They're going to want to be around me. They're going to be attracted to me, and I'll be able to open up with them and that kind of stuff. Now, I don't, it might sound like I do this all the time, but I don't. I really don't. It's just, that's what it takes to make a talisman, okay? And I've also read a lot about this kind of stuff. So basically, find something that you can carry around with you that reminds you of your end goal. And guess what? In this situation, you actually might not have an end goal that you've even thought of yet. And that's okay. Once you get it, then you can make that talisman, okay? And it's just something that you carry around with you. And if that fails to be the appropriate symbol at any point, then recreate another one, okay? This way, you are being reminded in your unconscious and consciously that this is something that's going to happen. This is something that you're looking forward to. Okay, so we have okay. So this goddess is hard to pronounce. In Hedwana. I just haven't gotten the hang of saying it yet. Okay. Everything's lined up in her life, okay? She's got her thoughts and her heart are both lined up. So if you're of two different minds about the situation, you're like, oh, I don't know if I should do this, but is it rational, and all of that, you've got to find a way to hold both of those in your hands and either have it be a both and or force them to line up. Okay, so let's say your heart is telling you that you need to do one thing and your head's telling you need to do one thing. Have your heart, have it, pretend like they're having a debate. You could even write it out if you need to, okay? Pretend that they're having a debate. Which one wins? Which one is better? Which one's more persuasive? Which one's going to convince the other one to kind of come to their side, And can there be a compromise? That kind of thing. That's what this is about. Being one with your soul. Now, Brigid is the goddess of the eternal flame, okay? And the deal with Brigid here is that she represents a lot of fire festivals when it comes to Celtic lore, okay? And she's also a goddess that represents the triple goddess godhead, which is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. In certain religions, in Druidry, that's the maiden, mother, and crone goddess. So with Brigid, you've got this person who's really fired up. She's really inspired. She's really creative. She can make things happen, right? She's got a lot of energy too. But she also is aware of the past and the future and the present, okay? She's aware of the way that time and she's aware of that timeline of what's coming and what has happened before. So I really feel like she's kind of in it for the long game. So this particular situation might take a little bit longer than you'd like, but it's like she's playing for the end, She might be kind of like the chess master that's really strategizing and all of that, but she's doing it with creativity and she's doing it with enthusiasm and she knows she's going to win, okay? So kind of think about that strategist inside of you, okay? And understand, I'm reading this intuitively, so I understand that Bridget can represent so many different things to so many different people, but this is what I'm getting for your pile, okay? Let's go on to Bast, who is very, very independent, okay? That's another thing, once your head and your heart are lined up, and you've got this, intention, this doesn't have to be this doesn't have to be a physical thing. You could just write it out, I just think it would be better if it was a physical thing. That's all I'm saying. It would work better for me if it was. Once you have this, go for it. And go for it with your own style, okay? I really feel like style is coming through with Bast, She's really independent. Think about cat energy, okay? And go forward with confidence and know that it's like, just because you might have some setbacks, just because you have a few setbacks doesn't mean you can't get up and keep going, okay? Because I think your particular situation and it being kind of complicated and all of that, you're going to have some setbacks, or at least a lot of you guys will. And that's not to discourage you. That's not to say, yeah, it's going to be hard, whatever, something that's hard is worth it, right? So every time you have a setback, just say, look, I've got 9 lives. I can just get right back up and I can do this, all right? And then we have Sekhmet. Be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Now, that's very comforting. That's very comforting when we're talking about your situation. Your situation ensures a happy outcome. It might not be the outcome that you want, but it will be happy, right? I really think that this kind of manifestation through making a talisman would be really, really helpful for you, okay? But we also have this be strong. I really feel like this goes with the independence. I feel like Sekhmet and Bast really are working together here. And this is saying, you can withstand whatever you have to go through in order to make this situation happen. You can withstand it, okay? And I just want to give a disclaimer in case I have some certain viewers here. If you are in an abusive situation where you're with a person and you want to make it work and you're listening to this and and you see be strong, so you say, okay, so I need to stick with it. No, you never need to stick with any kind of abusive situation. If you're in a situation where somebody is abusing you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, in any way, you need to get out of that situation, okay? Now, I'm not talking about people who, you know, every so often you have some bickering or, you know, a bad day or whatever. I'm talking people who are in abusive situations, and you know who you are if you are in one. And this just isn't the reading for you. You know, what you need, if you're asking about the abusive situation, what you need is to get out of that situation. That's going to be your first step, okay? Alrighty, guys. Everybody else just looks really good, okay? It does. It does seem like it's a long thing, but I mean, it's going to take a while, right? But I think you're going to be able to do it just fine. I really do. And don't worry. You know what? I feel like I need to say this as well. So many people don't realize it. Don't feel bad if you decide to give up, okay? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean you're a weak person. It just means that you've got priorities, you know? But even saying that, I feel like you will be able to make the situation happen, okay? All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for sticking to the end of my video. I know my video went up late today, and just want to say my videos will be back to normal starting tomorrow. Also wanted to let you guys know that I have a new policy on the turnaround time for my private readings, okay? Now, some of the more popular psychics here on YouTube, they have turnaround times that are like 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I even know of one that has, I believe, maybe 30,000 followers, and her turnaround is 6 weeks, okay? So previously it was 4 to 7 days for me. We're going to go ahead and boost that up a little bit, 5 to 10 business days, okay? So in other words, 2 weeks at the very most. Normally I'm going to be able to get that done around day 5 to 8, okay? But I just want to make sure you guys know that that's changing, all right? That said, thank you so much for helping me grow my channel. Thank you for getting me to a position where I do need to extend that, because I'm getting so many orders and so much interest in my private readings, you know? And just want to know I celebrate each and every one of you still. The rate at which this channel is growing is amazing to me, and I appreciate every like, every subscribe, every comment. I read your comments. I just can't respond to all of them. And I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you guys. All right, I will see you on my next reading.